Hello and welcome to Mailbox Power Academy. This is actually episode 5, and we are going to dive into the world of prospecting, but through a rather different lens. It's going to be a lens that I like to say is a relationship first lens. It's one where we interrupt patterns that your market is already numb to. So let me start by telling you a story. So years ago, I was having a rather spirited conversation with my now ex-husband, and no, that's not why we got divorced. Let's just say I was expressing myself rather passionately. Out of nowhere, he stopped me and asked, "Are you combustible?" I stopped dead in my tracks. Combustible? What kind of question is that? Suddenly, I wasn't thinking about what I had been so dang upset about anymore. I was trying to figure out why he thought I might burst into flames. And so, what does this have to do with direct mail? Well, that's exactly what direct mail can do in a world where people have become numb to email, social media, and digital advertising, right? It interrupts the pattern. Most marketing, let's face it, gets ignored because people expect it. And the mailbox, heck, that's different. It interrupts the pattern. People are overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed by email, social media, text messages, online advertising. Because at the end of the day, yeah, heck, that stuff, most of it blends together, most of it's ignored. Now, I'm not telling you that digital is bad. I'm just saying use direct mail to augment your digital efforts. And we're going to start with the prospecting, as I said here. So, direct mail is different because it shows up where fewer people are competing for attention. It shows up in a postcard, in a two-panel card, right? Or it shows up in what I like to call lumpy mail, which is a package, you know, something that's, you can touch, and it's lumpy mail. So anyway, the goal with prospecting, it isn't to be louder. The goal is to be memorable. And that's also direct mail across the board. One of the biggest mistakes I see businesses making is asking for something before they've earned the attention from their prospects. So instead, my advice to you is to teach, educate, share an insight, solve a problem, right? What could that be? Think about it for a minute. What can you teach, educate, share? What problem do you solve? Lead with value before asking for anything in return. So when people find value in what you share, they're much more likely to pay attention when you eventually make an offer. All of this is worth nothing if the best message in the world won't work, if it reaches the wrong audience, right? Think about it. The best message in the world won't work if it reaches the wrong audience. How does Mailbox Power help you reach the right audience? Well, purchase a mailing list. We can help you do that. Let me show you. Let me share my screen with you for a hot minute here. Okay, hang on one second. There we go. Okay, there's my screen. Now, order a mailing list. Two different types of options, right? How cool would it be to drill down to a specific zip code, a radius, all that sort of good stuff, right? And imagine taking it one step further, right? You can actually have your mailing list and you're like, what am I going to send these people? Okay, we have design templates, business, prospecting. Any one of these can be customized to your business, to whatever messaging you want. Now, one of the things you're seeing here is hello first name. One of the one of the main ingredients in the secret sauce of strategic results direct mail is personalizing your direct mail, right? So we've got it for you. Postcards, two-panel cards. I mean, you can go in here and design your own, use these, manipulate them in whatever way you want, and bam, you've got a really nice piece to mail out. So let me stop sharing. Hang on 1 second. There we go. I need to be able to see my screen again. Um, Out of all that, the other thing I want to show you is that you can actually target what we call the nearest neighbor mailings. So picture a contractor. Let's go with a roofing person, maybe, because right across the street from me, they're doing the roof right now. Um, a roofing contractor who used the nearest neighbor automation that Mailbox Power offers to notify homeowners when they booked a new job. The message could be as simple as, hey, we're working on your neighbor's roof. Wanted us to check yours there while we're there? If the roofing, think about it, if the roofing company's customer hired them, there's a good chance their neighbors will too. So prospecting at the end of the day isn't about reaching everyone. It's about reaching the right people. And Mailbox Powers list builder and the nearest neighbor automation, it's like chef's kiss. You've got it all in there to reach the right people. Now, I don't know if you noticed when I showed you this little postcard, there's a QR, whoops, where is it? See the QR code there? That's not just any QR code. That's a dynamic QR code. With Mailbox Power, you can put that dynamic QR code in any of your mailings. All right. So, and why is that different than your regular QR code? Send out, let's say you send out 1,000 of these postcards. Okay. And by the way, they are complimentary with your Mailbox Power membership. You just pay for postage. But when someone scans the QR code, you learn far more than if you simply send them to a website, right? You learn who's scanning it, which then can tailor your communication to them, right? Who's scanning it? You know who to follow up with ASAP, right? Now, the other thing, one of the things I love about Mailbox Power is it continues to evolve rather than revolve. And they've introduced some AI prospecting tools. And one of them, one of my favorites, actually two, but I don't know. I think I like them both the same. Anyway, the first one is website visitor identification. What this does is picture someone's on your website and they're poking around, but they don't click to get your newsletter. They don't click on an offer. They just poke around, right? Um, what if you can capture their information, their name, their address, etc.? What if, would that help? Would that be really cool? Right? Prospecting becomes easier when we're following up with people who have already shown interest. They're now officially a warm lead. They've gone from cold prospect to warm prospect. Pretty cool, right? And the other AI part of this is that the other option is you can put in keywords and tell the system when people are searching for these keywords in this particular geography that you want those leads. Okay. Um, the cool part about that is I always tell people make sure in those keywords you include your competition. Yeah, because when they're searching for your competition, you're going to get that lead too. Anyway, so what are we going to do with now that the leads that we have, right? I showed you the postcards, possible designs in the design catalog. They're all yours to use in whatever way you'd like. Here's the thing. Relationship first marketing doesn't work with one touch. It just doesn't. Don't waste your money. One and done. No, doesn't work. We need to build trust over time. So think about what you're mailing out. And let me tell you, kind of like a best practices cadence, if you will. Touch one, education. right? Teach something useful. What could that be? What could that look like in your business? The second touch, a call to action. Invite them to take the next step. The third touch that arrives in their mailbox, show social proof. The fourth touch, consequences. Yep. What happens if they do nothing? The sixth touch, actually, I'm sorry, the fifth touch would be transformation, before and after. Here's what's possible. Like the roofing guy. He takes a picture of the roof before, and then when it's done, he's got the after, right? This is what's possible. The sixth touch, the offer. Present the opportunity. And the seventh touch, something like, hey, Mary, thank you for allowing me to take space in your mailbox. I know it sounds funny, but by now they know who you are, right? Relationships aren't built through a single touch. They're built through consistent touches over time. Listen, some smart people did some research, and it goes to prove that we need at least 7 touches to get someone's attention, right? Mm-hmm. Now, here's your task, if you so choose to take it on. Think about one group of people you'd love to work with. Now ask yourself, what would happen if you intentionally stayed in front of them 7 times instead of 1? Not 7 sales pitches, okay? 7 opportunities to educate, encourage, inform, and build trust. Commit to the long game, right? Effective prospecting isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The real magic happens when you commit to consistent effort over time. See, that's the second secret ingredient to the successful prospecting sauce, if you will. It's consistency. And while it might take a minute, oh, okay, might take more than a minute, a hot minute, a bit of time up front. Heck, listen, it took me 4 months to get my first sale when I first started out in higher education sales and marketing. But at the end of the day, the results spoke for themselves. $800,000 plus in sales annually. And many of my clients were with me for 20 plus years. At the end of the day, people don't do business with companies. They do business with people who show they care. And this is the perfect segue into episode 6, where we will talk about retention. So until then, until episode 6, if you've found value in this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.